So are you thinking about moving to Alpharetta, Georgia? Well, this is the video for you. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about Alpharetta, how far it is from the city, what there is to do, all the major landmarks that you will be interested in, I am sure. Of course, if you have any questions, there is a link below for you to click, and I love to talk to you more about the details of this video. But this is a brief overview of Alpharetta, Georgia, and we are going to get into it right now. All right, you all, let's get right into it. Let me minimize my tool here or activate it. So here we are. You see Alpharetta in the center of the map. One key factor here, we'll start as our frame of reference, is to highlight this highway right here, which is 400. It runs straight through Alpharetta. To the south, you have Atlanta. To the north, you start heading towards Cumming or Lake Lanier. So great point of reference. You'll hear this highway a lot because it branches off 285, which is down in this direction. So one important thing to note, well, let's just start off that way. You have Milton here, which many folks have heard of as well, to the northeast of Alpharetta, to the northwest of Alpharetta, Roswell, and then you have Johns Creek down here to the southeast as well. But for your reference, let's go ahead and look, how far is Alpharetta from downtown Atlanta, right? Let's see how long, whoops, not downtown Decatur. We do not care about that right now. Downtown Atlanta. Get some of my things off the screen for you guys. As you guys can see, there's a little bit of traffic, but it's about a 40, well, it says 54. As you can see, there's lots of traffic, but it's about 33 miles. And as you guys can see, depending on the time of day, your commute may increase or decrease depending on the traffic. I will say right around this area where 400 meets 285, it is a nightmare. They're always doing construction here. It is not my favorite place to be. Until they finish whatever they're doing with the highway. But then once you get into the city, also another frustrating point, in my opinion, is this little Y section right here where 400 meets 75 and it merges into 85 heading into downtown. And of course, driving through Buckhead here, it can also be a headache as well. But it is not always this congested. The time right now is just showing you what the traffic looks like. But it's a 33 mile commute from Alpharetta to downtown Atlanta. So let's head back up here to Alpharetta. So a few important things about Alpharetta. I like to talk about the population size and the average price point, and then we'll kind of get into some of the areas that I think are relevant to you. But I always like to use the census to note population. But as you guys can see here, this is the census here. And we are specifically looking at the population for Alpharetta, Georgia. And as of 2021, it's about 66,000, right? And then another important key factor, let me get this off the screen, is the average price point as compared to the entire MLS, which is 590,000. Well above the average price point across the metro Atlanta. And just so you guys know, frame of reference, here's my metrics. I always typically go residential detached because most of the folks I speak to are interested primarily in single family homes versus townhomes and condos. But it gives you an idea of the, and again, this is the median sales price. Look down here on the bottom left, as in Alpharetta, as compared to the entire MLS. This is InfoSpark. This pulls from the MLS, the FMLS, which is the largest MLS in Georgia. So the best reference, and as of today, January 2020, or as of this month in January 2023, the median sales price is $590,000 in Alpharetta, Georgia. So let's get back over here to this and let me show you around. So again, a reference here is 400. But one place I want to bring your attention to that I've been several times, and it is one of my favorite places to hang out, right off 400 again, which is this highway here, is the Avalon. So let's zoom in here. But Alpharetta is a very popular place. Many of the folks that I speak to, one of their first places they inquire about is Alpharetta. And I believe the reason why it's because of its growth and popularity over the years, the school districts, as well as it's a booming tech city. There's lots of tech execs that live there and folks in that space. And this is a popular city that is desirable for that reason. Lots of tech companies that are based in this area. But right here, this is one of my favorite spots, the Avalon. You got a Whole Foods right here, and this is right here. 400 is over here. You exit on Old Milton Parkway, which takes you to Alpharetta Town Hall. Whoops, down this way, but we'll get there in just a minute. But check this out. So you got a Whole Foods here. You got the Apple Store. You got Ted's Mountain Grill. If you are a, grill person. Ooh, gusto. That's a good spot. I like that spot. But as you guys can see, there's so many places to eat here. The Avalon is kind of like a mixed use development. You got some residential living over here, as well as tons of restaurants and shops all through here. No matter what your flavor is, what you want to do, they have it for you here. I mean, you got Lululemon, you got Sephora, you got great places to eat. You got a grocery store here in Whole Foods. Avalon is a very popular place and a place worth noting. So as we continue down this way, let me show you guys over here. As we continue west, also popular hospital, Northside Hospital, right here off 400, going east on Old Milton, right off the highway as well. Very popular hospital, one worth noting as well. But heading down this way, we're headed over to the green, but oops. So we have this large park right here, Wills Park. But then as you hang a right here on Main Street, you are now on a very popular street where there's lots of shops, coffee spots, and it takes you to the place I wanted to bring your attention to, which is the Greenway. Where is it? I always get a little confused in this view, but there it is, right there. You see it? Boom. So this is a very, very popular place. I like it. It's like a big green space that draws a lot of people. A lot of people come out here and walk their dogs, hang out on the green. And Alpharetta Town Hall is right in this area as well. So this street, there's lots of development. Let me change this back here. There's lots of development happening along Main Street, right? Lots of renovations in retail, lots of shops popping up. Very, very popular. And I know that a lot of residential development is happening off of this street as well. So I've actually, get my tool here. Let me erase this. Off Cumming Street, there's lots of residential development happening off this street. In particular, I've actually shown some homes off this street, and it's walkable to Main Street. So Main Street, a very popular street you'll hear in reference to Alpharetta because of everything on it and its proximity. It literally runs right through Alpharetta, the name at least. But it's a popular one because there's so much to do. So let's see, another place worth noting. Let's check out some of these parks over here. So one of the places worth noting is not only the schools, and the name is slipping my mind right now, but it is, there we go, Creekview. But I will show you Creekview here shortly. But here is a popular place. North Point Mall is also a great point of reference right off Turner McDonald Parkway. You got the Cheesecake Factory. I love the Cheesecake Factory. I love it. TJ Maxx, but as you guys can see along this street here, you got Top Golf. And if you've never done Top Golf before, it is a ton of fun. Think of it like a driving range inside for points. It's like gamifying driving, which is pretty cool, or teeing off at the drive. So that's fun, especially if you're not the greatest at golf. This is a great way to practice your driving down the greenway, which is a lot of fun. I've done it several times and I like it. But along this street here, like I said, you got North Point Mall, you got TJ Maxx, you got Macy's, all of the stuff that you typically would find near a mall. Of course, everyone's favorite, Chick-fil-A, because their service is incredible. But I just wanted you guys to see what's off this street here and know where North Point Mall is. It is very close to Big Creek Park right here and Northwood Elementary School. And as you make your way down this way, we find ourselves at Roswell Country Club. So, all in Alpharetta. So we don't want to go too far south because we end up in Roswell, but headed back this way. Those are some of the popular places that are worth noting in Alpharetta. Pull this back up. Boop. As well. But one thing I wanted to share with you guys, I wanted you guys to know a few places worth noting. But in addition to that, I wanted to share with you kind of what the real estate looks like in Alpharetta. Maybe a few examples here. So to take you over here, look at a few examples, and let's type in Alpharetta, Georgia. Let's put a few filters in just so we're not seeing a whole bunch of things to give you an idea of what the real estate looks like in Alpharetta on the high end and on the low end. Let's say 3 bathrooms, 2, and we'll leave it at that, right? So we will go and we will filter this by the lowest price inventory. And we want to look at specifically, residential right here, right? So 354,000. As you guys can see right here on the map, you have Haynes Bridge Road. But look at some of these pictures here. And you see the price on the low end, 354,000. And again, Roswell is one of the more expensive cities to live in. So just keep that in mind. But check this out. So we have a home that may need a little TLC, but solid, clean, move-in ready, maybe a little outdated, but if it doesn't bother you, then this may be one worth considering, right? But it gives you an idea of what this price point gets you in this area, right? So 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a few more details, but let me show you the other end of the spectrum, right? So on the high end, so this is a spec home, so I'm not going to show you this one, but here's one right here, 215 Pine Tree and Circle. This happens to be a home that I toured personally, and this is the one I shared with you right here. If you look off Cumming Road, which I shared with you guys before, this is Main Street here, and this is Cumming Road. But this is the other end of the spectrum. Brand new construction. You get a sense of the architecture, the design of a brand new construction home here in Alpharetta. But take a look at some of these pictures, right? Very different aesthetic, very different build. And these are the types of homes you'll see more on the higher end in the $1 million price point here in Alpharetta. Beautiful open kitchen concept, high ceilings, gigantic sliding glass door with the pool back there. You got this linear fireplace. Definitely elegant, definitely upgraded, definitely new. So this is just an example. I wanted you guys to see both ends of the spectrum and kind of what you get on the low end and on the high end in Alpharetta. And let's head back over to our map. And that's it. Appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you found that valuable.
And there you have it. I hope you found this video valuable. Again, it's a brief overview of Alpharetta, but it is a very popular city just north of Atlanta that many folks are interested in, and I hope this was helpful. Of course, everybody's situation is unique, but if you have more questions or you want to speak in more detail about Alpharetta, head down to the links in the bio, click the links in the bio, schedule a call, text, email, whatever works best for you, and we can speak in more detail about your unique situation or specifically about what you were looking for in the Alpharetta area. I hope this is helpful. I look forward to connecting with you and showing you around the city.